Surrounded by mountains on all sides, grazing along American roads, nestled in the openings of the trees, what is quiet by day rings out by night. Warmed by the hearts that built her, accompanied by a small glowing fire, the Par Glass house located in Jonestown, PA is home to an alternative rock punk rock band. Join me on the road to the greater victory. Formed in a decked-out barn, the Greater Victory grew over the ages from a small thrown-together band into what they are now.
I met through a friend who wanted to start a band, and we decided to start a band, but our friend never actually showed up.
So Hot water supply.
Yeah, that was the name of the band. We never had a practice or anything. We decided to get together and jam. My mom would actually drive me over here because I was still too young to drive myself. Kind of took off from there, I guess.
Yeah, the first time we jammed, we never even met. I hit Cody up on AIM and was like, yo, we're supposed to play in this band now. So, like, you want to jam? So we went and picked him up. My mom drove me to pick up Sass, and that was the first time we ever met. Just started loading the shit in the van, and the rest is history.
Their experiences with music started at different angles all at a young age.
I started playing guitar pretty young. Early years of life. A lot of guitars hanging around the house. So, a lot of options.
12. My dad had a bass, so I picked it up. From the womb, man, like I was in there, beating on the pots and pans.
My brother really got me into listening to music. I never really liked it at one point. I was never into it when I was younger, but he always had good music, so it got me going.
When I was younger, I wanted to play the trombone really bad, but my parents never wanted to buy one for me because I was in 5th grade and didn't have any money, so they bought me drumsticks and a pack, and I just decided to stick with that.
All of which traced itself back to the Par Glass house, the Greater Victory's home, and homes their past attempts at bands, jam sessions, practices, personal projects, and hosted shows. When it came to music in the early days, it started out how anyone might imagine it to be, a wild ride into the unknown, destined for whatever lie ahead. This case, in particular, to the guys, a gig at Shiloh Church, a battle of the bands at Benton High School, and more.
What can I remember the most about playing the Shiloh Church? Well,
I have footage of it actually, somewhere.
It seemed like, I felt like as soon as I went up there, I feel like interest level dropped. Like for our particular band, like we were pretty young and pretty inexperienced and just kind of like, we're just like, oh, let's play a show. Like we got 3 songs and a fucking breakdown. Like, let's do it.
I
Sorry
remember
for swearing.
Our buddy DJ showed up. We were mesmerized because we'd never seen any actually like mosh.
Friends coming out to our shows.
Yeah, I remember there's a picture of us somewhere, and we're literally just staring at the crowd while we're playing, and it was the funniest picture because we were just like, we were all rock solid. Like, we didn't know what to do. We were just like, wow.
Yeah, it was definitely
so
like
cool.
a stone statue for sure, because I was so nervous. I mean, nerves never really go away, but it definitely is. I don't get the same nervous feeling as the first time we played.
Classroom with this guy.
The very first place.
Yeah. Together. Yeah. This other guy was what? That talent show. Was that first show? Yeah.
And high school talent show.
Dutch Hill with the dramatic insignia. It was awesome. I just remember the lights, like we were like there, we had a sound guy, and I was just like, oh man, I hit my kick. And it was just like, I felt it. And I was like, oh, this is the real deal. It was awesome.
First and Goal.
Yeah.
That was our first band.
First show was in 2007, I believe.
Yeah, 2007 at the Benton High School Battle of the Bands.
Okay.
We got third place.
We took third in that one.
Yeah.
Pissed a lot of people off.
Why did it piss people off?
Because we're really young and, like, I mean, compared to some of the bands that played that night, our talent level definitely wasn't there.
Yeah,
but
those bands. I mean, those guys. They've been playing for a while too. They were a lot older than us, a lot more experienced.
Yeah, and we had a lot of friends there and had a lot of fun, and we got a lot of votes.
Yeah, it was a popularity contest. And
we ended up placing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
They did it for a couple of years.
Yeah, we did 2 of them there.
Yeah.
Second time we won first.
Yeah, we did one.
Mm-hmm.
We did win the second time around.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, then we came here and filmed a really crappy music video in the garage that I'd like to find one of these days.
With the changes in time also came a change in music. As the guys began to learn more about performance from the gigs they would play in Bloomsburg at Phillips Emporium and other festivals, they started to understand what makes a band worth watching and listening to. That changed how they went about creating their music.
And everything that I do in this life.
Well, we're talking First and Goal still, right? So, we played a lot of shows in Bloomsburg and had a lot of fun. And that's what it was really all about at that point. I mean, I didn't think about, at that time I didn't think about playing out of state. I didn't think about the structure of our songs. I didn't think about anything except just playing on the weekend and having a great time.
Yeah, there were some times, I remember there were some weekends we had 3 shows.
Yeah.
Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was awesome. And like, we would just play, I mean, it kind of turned to be like, we would just play kind of like Northeast Pennsylvania area. Sometimes with the same bands, but we'd get our foot in the door with other bands. There'd be like festivals here and there that we also get into. There were like Sloppy Hog Fest. There was
Sloppy Hog Fest was fun.
There was another one. At that like silo
Tin Can.
bar. Tin Can, yeah.
Tin Can Festival, something like that.
Yeah. It was a lot of
I
fun.
forget what it's called. Yeah, we never, I mean, but at that point, we were just young and just having fun. I didn't think of anything on a really professional level at that point.
There was a couple times that we played with some pretty big bands though.
Yeah, we did. Brought in some good bands, like Hero Fake,
Settle
the Sky.
We almost got to play with Texas in July.
Texas in July was in Bloomsburg.
Yeah.
Didn't get on that show. I mean, structurally, I feel like our songs are like night and day compared to when we first started, especially the Greater Victory. It essentially started off with me and Matt playing instrumentals and just messing around. And I feel like when we were younger, we would just kind of, we'd put any thoughts we'd put to paper and try to make it into a song, whereas now I think about it more. I try to be not as blunt in my writing, like straight up, like I hate myself and I want to die. More making it, saying it in a way that's more relatable, especially, and just making songs feel more professional just by structuring them differently rather than just throwing together a bunch of words and calling it a chorus and just throwing parts together. Take it a little more seriously and feel like I know a little more when it comes to songwriting in terms of what grabs people's attention and what makes people want to listen more.
We've always like thought about where we wanted to, like even during a set at our show, like actually swap instruments. Yeah. Do that kind of thing.
So you guys would play like every part of each song then?
Could essentially, yeah.
Huh.
Actually, I think it's like the lyrics and the way that we present those lyrics, because there's people that show up and just like come up to us after a set and say, man, that one song where it goes like this, but like I love that song. What's it called? Like I want to, like you guys have a CD or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so I can listen to it off and on, you know.
Especially one song that's really stood out, like from all the years that we've ever done this, is She Hits Me Like a Fifth of Whiskey, which Matt wrote. It's a great song. We got some radio play with that song, and we've gone to places where and played in bars where we don't know anybody, and we're playing this song and people are singing the chorus by the end of it, and I'm like, this is awesome. Matt sings the lead on that song, so I kind of just get to stand back a little bit and kind of observe everything and take it in, and I just definitely noticed over time that like people really latch onto that song and love it. And I also think attention grabbing wise, I mean, like I said before, like we're better than we were when we were younger, and I can like throw my body around now and jump around without like totally losing my spots and messing up. And I feel like that grabs people's attention because it makes people want to watch to see what I'm gonna do, like if anyone else is gonna start jumping, and like if I'm gonna knock my guitar rig over. Because if I saw someone jumping around as I do, I'd be very interested to see if they're going to break something or knock something over.
It's like, I'm going to watch this happen. I know
like,
exactly
he might fall through his guitar rig like I do. Like, I'm going to stay and watch this whole band. I think it just brings a different element because it just gives people outside of the music itself, I feel like it gives people something to think about while they're watching us. Like, what's he going to do next? Like, the drummer's making faces, or the bass players getting into it. Like, I feel like that kind of stuff makes people feel more connected with the band.
We write a lot better songs.
Yeah. Got more intricate.
We're better at playing our instruments at this point.
Like in that aspect.
Like if we could play as good back in like high school as we can play now.
Yeah, really? Everybody, oh man,
we'll be playing
so true.
Really well.
At this point.
You're right, that's why it seems to me when we're born, we're destined for the sea. That's right, tell me you're not strong. They're wrong, they're wrong, they're wrong.
What's the experience of like you guys on stage and looking out into the audience?
So, I like to look at it as like when we perform, I like to like have a solid, like try to have as much of a solid performance as we possibly can, regardless if there's one person or 100 people or whatever. You know, we're there to perform, and I mean, even if like no one's interested, I mean, it doesn't matter. We're still going to, you know, we're gonna throw down. You know, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I mean, once we're done, we'll look back at it and say, yeah, that was kind of, you know, that was a mess show, or man, those people were like really into it, you know. But yeah.
Understanding how to play for an audience and getting their attention grew in time and continues to. Creating the content that comes from all over, and a good time to see that happen is a Wednesday evening during one of their jam sessions.
So, one thing I wanted to like point out is that sometimes we're like, all right, we need to practice our songs. We have a show this weekend. We need to, you know, we actually got to get through it. Well, we practice every Wednesday, and we'll start like, we'll show up. Maybe someone will like, you know, not show up for a little bit, but then once we like start like playing, we usually just kind of jam. We don't really play our music.
Okay.
Which is kind of not what we wanted to do, but it kind of works out because sometimes we get some cool like riffs out of it that we want to use for like future songs to write for. You're Right, They're Wrong came up like that. He was just playing like it kind of had a jam kind of turned out of it, and then we're like, wait, let's just jam this for a little bit. And that's kind of what it turned into. I wrote up some lyrics for it, and we kind of turned it around a little bit, and that's kind of what became. A lot of our music, I feel like, is pre-practiced before we come to practice. So like, Chris would.
Yeah. There's a lot of the times like Matt will write a song or I'll write a song, and we'll show it to each other, and then we'll bring it to the practice. But like Snowflakes, I mean, sometimes my fingers, my brain just work in a way that I don't always have. Like, especially Snowflakes, Cody came with the lyrics, and I just kind of put my fingers on the guitar, and it just happened so perfectly, exactly how it is now. And we're like, this is great. Like, it works exactly how it is. And I was just like, oh man, really need to come up with something. And it just, my fingers went right to where it is now, and it just happened. And we're like, this is great. Like, why can't all songs be written this way?
One thing that I've always wanted to do is just hit the record button all the time whenever we're jamming, because there's so many times that we, you know, that we think of something really, really cool, and then like, wow, that was really cool. You know, we would think about that, and then like,
it's gone.
We take a break, and then we'd come back, and we're like, wait, what did we just do? That was really cool. You know? Yeah,
jamming beforehand definitely helps to keep it fresh, because we're always practicing the same songs, a lot of times in the same order, and it can get tiring sometimes. It's like, we're tight. Like if we just played a show on the weekend and we're practicing a couple days later, playing through the same exact set list, it's like, let's just play something random. Like, just start playing something. Just like get our minds moving. Yeah. Usually we like to get the stove heated up so we're not freezing our arses off. Like right now. Yeah.
Ocean blue, I'll be on the shore, standing, waiting, watching for you.
The Par Glass House isn't just for jam sessions. A lot of his character came from another feat the Greater Victory put into their hands. Their biggest one being Yardstock, followed by the ever-common Par Glass House shows hosted by Matt, Chris, and their family. Yardstock, a multi-day festival hosting numerous bands all day on 2 stages built by the guys themselves. The music genres all over. Punk to metal to folk, you name it, they most likely had it playing over the course of the days. It wasn't just music though, it was art. Artists coming to sell what they had created, and it was community, more than anything else there. All a project built by the guys themselves.
My friend Dan had contacted me, Dan Campbell, and he threw out the idea of doing a festival, and I agreed to do it because I thought it was an awesome idea. We both booked the stage. Matt built the stage outside in the yard, and we invited all our friends, and it was fucking awesome.
It was a good time. It was awesome.
Just grew from there.
How many years have you done it so far?
4 years.
4 years. So how do they change, the shows change over the years then for all of you guys?
It got a lot better. A lot more people started coming out.
Probably the best show, like, feeling we ever played was right in our own backyard.
Yeah.
With interest high and curiosity up, they decided to keep the festival going after its first year.
To have a place where local musicians can play. There aren't a whole lot of spaces, and I've provided that for a few years by using this barn for shows and also using our outside area to hold the festival. So it just became part of my annual schedule for a couple of years. It was just something that I focused on. I wanted to do better every year, and it showed, for sure.
Yardstock. It occurred once a year in the summer for a few days straight. A festival is all its own, as you'll never find another festival as free-feeling as it. The rest of the year, Chris, Matt, and their family host shows inside Parglass, keeping it mellower. Well, to a point.
People moving, come on! Just watch out for that stove. Really hot. Bring it up, get close, get awkwardly close, come on! Here we go!
Even these shows have a beginning.
I started going to shows, I think, in local shows in 2005, sometime around then. And then in 2006, I went and saw Bayside in Connecticut, and I was like 14. And when I walked into the venue and just being around the crowd, I was just like, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to be involved in this. Like, I loved the environment. I loved, like, the bands on the stage, like, the things they said, like, the way they made people feel. Mm-hmm. I was like, I want to be a part of that somehow. So from that point on, I was kind of like, how do I make this for myself, in a sense? Like, how can I at least bring people into a room if I set up something, which at that point I had no idea. It's like if I were to set something up and I'm going to these small places in Bloomsburg and seeing these bands come out and perform to people who love it, I'm like, how do I do this? Like, it was kind of like a challenge to myself when I was like really young. Like, I want to try to do this. Like, there's got to be a way. If people are already doing it in my home area, like, I have to be able to find my way in and make things happen. It's kind of snowballed. Hard Glass House. I used to book in Bloomsburg at Phillips Emporium, and it was like a bookstore, like coffee shop, and after many years of doing shows there, they decided to rent out the back for different endeavors. So shows fell off there, and there was nowhere else to play. So I decided to start doing it here in the very tiny, very crammed corner of this barn.
Thank you for joining me on the road to the greater victory. I'm Emma, and until next time.